It's October, Dumbledore said calmly. Hi, this is a review of the knitting app Bellish. They don't know I'm making this video and all my thoughts are completely my own. If you knit, you'll know that everyone and their mom seems to have a partnership video with Bellish. However, the first person I ever heard about it from was Nat Paper Scissors, and they have yet to be sponsored by Bellish, so go show their video some love. Everyone says that Bellish revolutionizes their knitting, but the catch is Bellish is only available on iPhone at the moment, and I don't have an iPhone. However, they do have a website which offers some of the same features as the Apple app. So I thought as they prepare for their Android launch, I'd film this review and hopefully get a sponsorship deal in the future, maybe, please. Okay, let's get started. To start out with, the most clear difference is that you can't design your own pattern on the website. You can only use the patterns that are available from them. I wanted to do something small to get this video out faster, so I decided to make a sock. This was my first time making a sock, and especially a toe-up sock. It was using a lot of stitches which I was new to, like Judy's Magic Cast On, so it was a bit tricky, but again, the instructions on Bellish were really clear and helpful. Also, because it's spooky season, I wanted to make a gray sock in honor of our loved Dobby the house elf, using this beautiful yarn from Knit Picks. I went to their patterns tab, but couldn't find any sock, only cardigans and sweaters. Kept scrolling for a while, but I couldn't find anything else as I kept going. So I returned to the homepage and was really excited when I found this back to basics sock pattern featured. But oh wait, I can't click on it. I tried so many times to click on this and I tried everywhere looking for this pattern, but I can't actually access it. I guess it's just featured on the site and not actually available, which is kind of a bummer. I was going to ask their support staff, but they weren't available and I didn't want to give them my email. And actually this was a recurring problem. Anytime I went onto the site, it seemed the support was never actually available. But again, that might just be the times that I was logging in. In the end, I still wanted to knit my first pair of socks, and I wanted to do something no one else had done on YouTube before. I say as I'm copying every other video that any other knitting YouTuber has done in the past couple months, but I decided to go with Knit Yorker's sock pattern because it was one of the few sock patterns on the site and it was closest resembling to what I actually wanted. Disclaimer, this isn't a review of her pattern, rather a Bellish, but she did a great job and it'll be linked in the description. Looking at the page for the pattern, they offered the pattern itself, the supplies needed, sizing, measurements, and the abbreviations for the stitches used throughout the pattern. The most notable difference between this and the iPhone app is I can't customize sizing, which isn't a problem in my case because I'm just making a sock, but just keep that in mind for whatever you're making. Also, the iPhone app offers video tutorials on the exact stitches used in the pattern, which would have been helpful in my case because I've never knit a sock before, but anyways, I was able to learn from YouTube videos. I can't track my stitch count either, as is possible in the app, but again, it's not a big deal. In conclusion, here are the pros and cons I found throughout my time using Bellish. The pros of Bellish are: they have a ton of patterns, like so many patterns, all for free. Yes, I can't believe this is actually free. Like, wow, that is amazing. Also, Bellish offers 13 sizes. This makes knitting so much more accessible and easier for new knitters just starting out like me. Also, what I really appreciated was the abbreviation tab on each pattern page because it's an easy way to reference what stitch you're doing rather than just Googling it. This isn't too much of a big deal, but the aesthetics of the site are designed super well. It's very clean and nice looking. Again, not a huge deal, but as an artsy person, I love doodles and the overall vibe. The cons for this site in comparison to the app are that a lot of the app's functionality aren't available on the web version. This includes the stitch counter, being able to design something yourself, and the tutorial videos. But more importantly, I couldn't access patterns other than sweaters while on the site. I don't know if that's just a me thing and I couldn't find it, but just thought I would mention it. Also, here's some stuff that was a bit unclear to me in my research about Bellish, but I thought would be worth mentioning. First off, I'm not sure if this app is available only in the US App Store or which countries it is available in. I remember seeing videos by Tiffany and Allie in Canada and also Bethany, who lives abroad in Europe. When I scroll down to the bottom of the website, it lists a company, which I believe is centered in Australia, but I thought it was worth mentioning. And why haven't they given Friday Knits a sponsorship? Like, they should do that. Also, I think it would be a good point to mention app security. They have access to your geolocation for some reason. I don't know why that's necessary, just thought I would mention it if any of you care about that stuff. And they have a privacy notice on their website detailing what information they take and why they think it's necessary. It's a bit unclear to me if you can sell what you make from Bellish. They just link to their terms of service, but let's be real, I'm not reading that. I get that you can't make and sell the patterns that they offer for free on the site, because those are their patterns. But if you can't sell something that you design yourself using the app, then that kind of sucks, because this is honestly just a glorified calculator. But again, I'm not sure the exact specifics, so please read the terms of service if you think this applies to you. What I wish Bellish added, obviously I hope they update the website to have more functionality to the app, duh. But what I think also may be cool would be adding a comment or rating system. That way people can voice what worked for them as part of the pattern and any measuring adjustments they had to make to help others out. Basically to just create a sense of community. Also, it may be good to have a scoring system to label certain projects from beginner to advanced. Again, just to help out beginner knitters when they're getting started. They may already have this in the iOS app. I just don't know because I don't have access to it. And maybe it would be rivaling Ravelry in that case. Rivaling. Oh gosh. These are just my ideas. Let me know what you think and if I missed something. Needless to say, the web version does not compare to all the functionalities available in the app. But again, given that this is free and all the basics needed to complete a pattern are provided, it's still pretty great. Here's the final result of the sock. I'm gonna do a try on. Psych! I'm not actually done. Knitting a sock took a lot longer than I expected. But you can check out my Instagram for updates, and when I finally complete it, it'll be on there. Here's how far I actually got through knitting with Bellish. All in all, would I recommend using Bellish, and more importantly, will I be downloading the Android version when it comes out? Yes. With what I've seen on the website, Bellish seems like a great app. If you have an iPhone, give it a go and let me know what you think. And if you're an Android loser like me, we'll just have to wait. Also, Bellish, if you're watching this, I'd love to do a review again once the Android release drops. Bye, thanks for watching.